Well, Burleson came up a little short this weekend, but they have bigger things on their mind right now. Since the arrival of new head coach Jon Kitna, there's renewed optimism in the community, but the program is also in the midst of grieving a tragic accident that occurred earlier this year. We get a closer look now in our Inside Story.
It would be a major understatement to say that 2020 has been full of inconveniences, but for a handful of new coaches, it's been especially challenging. Former Dallas Cowboy quarterback Jon Kitna accepted the head coaching job at Burleson back in March. After being on the job just for a few days, schools were suddenly shut down due to COVID-19. That made the transition much more challenging than it would have been otherwise.
I didn't know a lot about them before I got here. I did know that in 2017, we had a chance to play them when I was at Waxahachie, looking at the playoffs and how things went. So we had gone out and scouted them. And what I found out when I got here is these kids work hard.
Though the work ethic is there, the Elks have not enjoyed very much success over the last few years. Kitna came in as the most high-profile coach the town has ever seen. Like any good coach, he wants to win, but has a much bigger picture in mind for his players.
That's the only reason I coach at this level, to try to train, develop, and graduate real men. And we define real men as reject passivity, empathize with others, accepts responsibility, leads courageously. And if it was just about football, I'd have stayed out of coaching the pros. I had opportunities from the time that I retired until now. Or I'd try to go the college route or whatever if it was just about football. But I just feel like high school football gives you such a great opportunity to partner with parents to really train young men into what it means to be a real man.
It didn't take long for his players to look to Kitna for hope and leadership. On Monday, June 8th, excitement and optimism was at an all-time high as the team had just finished its first summer practice. It was a great first day, but that night, everything suddenly changed.
Day one was awesome. We put an arm around them, talking about all the different protocols and everything. And then we had tragedy strike that night. And one of our young men was in a car accident and passed away immediately. So you go from day one, all the, just you're happy, it's great, can't wait, to be with them. And then that tragedy strikes. And now you're really kind of have to balance, like, when is time? When it's time to get back together? This kid was, by all accounts, the guy in our program. He was a positive influence on everybody he was around.
That player was junior-to-be Tre Wallace, a popular young man who had earned honorable mention all-district honors as a sophomore. The suddenness of it all was too much for his teammates to immediately comprehend.
Tre was my best friend since I was in the first grade, and when I heard the news, I just didn't believe it. I was like, nah, it can't be true. It can't be true. At first, it was hard. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to get out of bed. But at the end of the day, I told myself, Tre wouldn't want me to be in bed crying and just sad about this. He would want me to get up and show him that we're going to do this. Because my last conversation with Tre, he was telling me, he was like, he just wanted to make playoffs. The day that he passed, he just told me that morning, he was like, he just wanted to make playoffs because Tre never made playoffs at Burleson, and we're going to make that happen for him at all costs.